Now let me go back to the beginning of the code. So I explained the very first while loop. Now we're gonna ask the user which type of solar panels they want to use. We're gonna ask them in a menu input statement. Here we did our menu input statement for which type of solar panel they wanted to calculate, and then this while loop right here, this very second while loop. This is basically the data validation. It says if the user does not choose any element, a warning sign will pop up and it will say that you did not choose any element, please select an element, and it will keep on doing that until the user selects an element. We go down here, there's more input functions, basically to input the data. What size would you like to use, and then here there's another data validation using while loops and if statements inside the while loop. I will go over that later in the test cases, when I do the test cases. After this while loop, we have here what we did is the data is the data variable here is from what we uploaded at the very beginning, and now basically here we're just separating the data into its costs. So the data basically it showed the different costs, and now we're just separating them. So depreciation has its depreciation cost, the materials have its materials cost, and so on. Then we calculated the cost of a panel, and then we outputted it using an fprintf. Then as I go down, we ask for the roof size, and it must be a positive. So this is another data validation. If he does not enter a positive, it will go on until he enters a positive, he or she, depending on the user. If to enter a positive value. Then after that, we called the function convert feet to meters squared to our main script. So basically we created a function file here just for the simple conversions of feet to meters, because when we did the input function, we asked the user to input it in feet, as you can see here, and now we wanted to convert it into meters. So we made we made its own function file for that, and we called it into the main script. Then here it's more just and then here it's more output statements using fprintf. Now as we go down, here we calculated the final cost and outputted that using fprintf as well. And then here we made a string with the different states, and then we made a menu input asking which state would you like to live in. Then as we go down, here's basically simple calculations for our code, and here we have an if statement within an if statement. Basically says this if statement what this if statement does. What this if statement does is that that if the state that we chose, that the user chose, I'm sorry, if the state that the user chose, because in our code we're gonna compare states. So for example, if the user is comparing Arizona to Texas, and he chose Arizona to buy the panels from, it will tell what this if statement does. What this if statement does, it tells you the difference of money that you're going to be spending in Arizona than in Texas. So say for example in Arizona you're going to be spending $200, and in Texas you're going to be spending $500. There's a difference of $300. That's basically what this if statement does.